Welcome to this video where we'll take a deep dive into the fascinating world of computers. Have you ever wondered how the device you're using to watch this video actually works? How does it perform all the tasks that you ask of it? From browsing the web to playing games, or even running complex simulations, computers have become an essential tool in our lives. But how do they manage to do all these tasks, and what happens behind the scenes? In this video, we'll explore the fundamentals of computer architecture, from the basic components of a computer to the complex operations that allow them to process information. We'll take a look at the different types of computers and their uses, and learn about the core concepts that make them function. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how a computer works and what goes into making it run smoothly. Section 1. Hardware components. The hardware components of a computer are the physical parts that make up the machine. These components can be categorized into two main groups, internal and external. Internal components include the motherboard, central processing unit, CPU, random access memory, RAM, hard disk drive, HDD, power supply unit, PSU, and other peripherals that are installed directly onto the motherboard. The motherboard is the backbone of the computer, and all other components are connected to it. The CPU is the brain of the computer and is responsible for processing data. RAM provides temporary storage for data that is being actively used by the computer. The HDD is the primary storage device and holds all of the computer's data and programs. The PSU provides power to all of the internal components. External components include input devices, output devices, and other peripherals that are connected to the computer through ports on the motherboard or external connectors. Input devices include a keyboard, mouse, and other pointing devices. Output devices include a monitor, printer, and speakers. Other peripherals may include a scanner, camera, or external hard drive. Each of these components works together to allow the computer to function properly. The CPU retrieves data from the RAM, performs calculations on that data, and then stores the results back in the RAM or HDD. The motherboard acts as a communication hub, allowing data to be transferred between components. Input devices allow users to interact with the computer, while output devices allow the computer to display information or produce sound. Power is supplied to all components by the PSU. Section 2. Software components. Software components refer to the programs, applications, and other digital instructions that tell the hardware components what to do. These software components include the operating system, system utilities, device drivers, and applications. The operating system, OS, is the most important software component of a computer. It is responsible for managing the computer's hardware and software resources and providing a platform for other software applications to run on. Some of the most common operating systems include Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. System utilities are programs that help to manage and optimize a computer's performance. These utilities include disk defragmenters, antivirus software, backup and recovery tools, and system diagnostic tools. Device drivers are software programs that allow the operating system to communicate with hardware components such as the keyboard, mouse, and printer. Without the proper device drivers, the hardware components would not be able to function properly. Applications are software programs that are designed to perform specific tasks or functions. They can range from simple programs such as text editors and web browsers to complex applications such as video editing software and computer-aided design (CAD) programs. Applications can be either pre-installed on a computer or downloaded and installed by the user. Section 3. Input and output devices. In addition to hardware and software components, input and output (I/O) devices are also crucial in the functionality of a computer. I/O devices allow users to interact with the computer and its software. Input devices enable users to enter data and commands into the computer, while output devices allow users to receive information from the computer. Common input devices include keyboards, mice, scanners, microphones, and cameras. Keyboards allow users to input text and commands, while mice provide a way to navigate graphical user interfaces, GUIs. Scanners enable users to digitize printed documents, while microphones and cameras allow for the recording of audio and video data. On the other hand, output devices include displays, printers, speakers, and headphones. Displays provide visual output to the user, while printers produce hard copies of digital documents. Speakers and headphones enable users to hear audio output from the computer. Additionally, there are also input-output devices that function as both input and output devices, such as touchscreens and webcams. Touchscreens allow users to both input data and commands by touching the screen and receive visual feedback from the display. Webcams can capture video and audio input, while also providing visual output to the user through a monitor or display. Section 4. The role of binary code. Binary code is the language that computers use to store and transmit information. It is a base 2 numbering system that consists of only 2 digits, 0 and 1. These 2 digits can represent any type of data or instruction that a computer needs to process. All data in a computer is stored in binary format, which means that the computer can read and understand it. When you type a letter on a keyboard, for example, it is converted into binary code that the computer can understand. Similarly, when you view an image on a computer screen, it is converted into binary code that is displayed on the screen. The binary code is processed by the computer's central processing unit, CPU, which is responsible for carrying out instructions and performing calculations. The CPU uses a clock to synchronize the flow of data and instructions through the computer's hardware components. The CPU sends instructions to the memory, which stores the data that the computer is currently using. This data can include operating system files, applications, and user data. The memory is divided into 2 types, primary and secondary. Primary memory is temporary and is used to store data that the computer is currently working on. Secondary memory is permanent and is used to store data that needs to be saved even when the computer is turned off. The binary code is also used to control the computer's input and output devices. For example, when you click a button on a mouse, the computer receives a binary signal that tells it to perform a specific action. When you print a document, the computer sends binary data to the printer, which interprets the data and prints the document. Overall, the binary code is essential to how a computer works. Without it, the computer would not be able to process or understand data and instructions. Section 5. How the CPU works. The Central Processing Unit, CPU, is often referred to as the brain of a computer. It is responsible for processing instructions and performing calculations. The CPU consists of several components, including the control unit, the arithmetic logic unit, ALU, and the registers. The control unit is responsible for fetching instructions from memory, decoding them, and then executing them. It sends signals to other parts of the computer, such as the memory and the ALU, to coordinate their actions. The ALU is responsible for performing mathematical and logical operations, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It also performs comparisons, such as checking if 2 values are equal or if one value is greater than another. Section 6. Data storage and retrieval. Data storage and retrieval are essential parts of how a computer works. Computers need to store data to be able to retrieve and use it later. Data can be stored in various types of memory, such as the random access memory, RAM, read-only memory, ROM, and hard disk drive, HDD, or solid-state drive, SSD. RAM is a volatile memory that stores data temporarily while the computer is running. It is used to store data that the CPU needs to access quickly, such as the data used by currently running applications. When the computer is turned off, the data in RAM is lost. ROM, on the other hand, is a non-volatile memory that stores data permanently. It contains the firmware, which is the software that controls the basic operations of the computer, such as the booting process. HDDs and SSDs are the primary storage devices used by computers. HDDs use magnetic disks to store data, while SSDs use flash memory. Both types of storage devices store data permanently and can be used to store large amounts of data, including the operating system, applications, and user data. In conclusion, a computer is a complex machine that works through the interaction of hardware and software components. It takes input from the user through input devices, processes the input with the CPU, and then outputs the results to output devices. The computer's hardware components, such as the CPU, RAM, motherboard, and hard drive, work together to store and retrieve data, while software components, such as the operating system and applications, provide the necessary instructions for the computer to perform specific tasks. By gaining a basic understanding of the various components and processes involved in a computer's functioning, users can make informed decisions about which computer system is best suited for their needs and can use their knowledge to troubleshoot problems and improve performance. Thanks for watching.